Well, well, well. Man, there are all kinds of things going on, and there's nothing going on. You can tell that we're ready to get back to football. We had a story about Dak Prescott, and I forgot to put that in today's topics. But there was a story about one Dak Prescott being traded to the Cleveland Browns. This has to be the absolute craziest story. This has to be the absolute craziest story that I've heard in a while, especially as it pertains to Dak Prescott. And I think we may discuss that right off the top, on top of the other four topics that we're going to have for today. But again, welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboys haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And so as you come in, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know the next time we post another live. But again, we got some great topics today, or at least I say as good as you can actually get while there is no football going on, right? So let's look at our topics for today. So our topics for today, we're going to talk a little bit about Ashton Jeanty. Everybody's going crazy about the Ashton Jeanty Pro Day. We're going to talk a little bit about Sanders to the Cowboys. I talked about this the other day, but it seems like it got a little bit of traction by some people. And then, of course, we're going to look at the Cowboys' path to the draft. They've been saying that based on who the Cowboys are visiting, they're kind of telling us what they're going to do in the draft. So we're going to look at that list today. I got a little bit of that list today, and we'll talk about some of the players that are on that list. And then I think we're going to talk about the CD rule that they've made up. Man, the NFL tripping. I don't understand the CD rule. Why would they even have to do something like this? It just shows you that this is this league's way of, let's get at the Cowboys. Cowboys always big news. You know the Cowboy fans are going to speak out about this. I don't know. This just seems kind of dumb to me. That's going to be our four topics. Actually, we got five. We're going to talk about the Dak Prescott trade off the top. We'll talk about Ashton Jeanty, Sanders to the boys, the Cowboys' path to the draft, and then the CD rule. And then I'm going to do a quick roll call. Whether it be 10 or 10,000, we're going to talk Cowboys. Jameson Taylor, I hope all is well with you. Dak owns Filthy. What's going on with you? Said that Franklin Frankel. Yes, sir. What's going on, Top Gunner? Delta Roots in the crib. What's going on? Ice Cold Cowboy, what up, my man? Gregory Davis. What's up? Luis, what's up? Dominique, what's going on in here? Let's get started. And so I guess first let's kind of talk about this Dak Prescott nonsense. It kind of happened yesterday. And it's kind of been deaded now because, oh, my man Delta Roots, what's up? Delta Roots. It's kind of been deaded now because people really, people quickly realized that it was nothing to it. And I'll pull up some stuff today. They still been talking some stuff about it today. Let's pull up something over here on Athlon Sports. Shout out to Mike Fisher and that whole gang. And I'm telling you what's happening here with this whole thing with Dak Prescott. There's no football going on. People are just trying to find things to talk about. They are. People are just trying to find things to talk about. It's the bottom line. And so it says over here, and we knew anybody who knows Dak Prescott's contract, we'll look at that in just a moment too. We know anybody who knows Dak Prescott's contract knew this wasn't true. What's going on, Big Mace? Good to see you up in here, Big Mace 1984. Alex, what's going on, my man? Good to see you. Yes, sir. David Johnson, Gregory Davis, what's going on? Craig English. Zaire Brown, what's going on? This thing with Dak Prescott in the trade, this is all just about, there's just nothing going on right now. And surprisingly, which I'm actually ecstatic about, Cowboys have been so quiet. Cowboys have really been so quiet about I mean, even when they do something, they're not really trying to give explanations for it. They have been uncharacteristically so quiet that people are just now making up stuff. And Louise, he says here, let me see. He says, he said, let's trade Dak, let's trade Micah. And, it's funny because these are the type of things that go on. The trading of Dak Prescott, you've been hearing people talk about that. You've been hearing there's even been people talking about trading Micah Parsons. Cowboys are not trading either one of these players. They're all in on both of these players, and they very well should be. But again, this whole thing with Dak Prescott and the trade thing, it was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, let me read here. It says on Wednesday, Cleveland sportscaster Bruce Dennen reported that the Browns are negotiating as we speak with the Dallas Cowboys for a trade with Dak Prescott. That report caught a lot of attention, and on the same day, legendary Cowboys wide receiver Dez Bryant disputed it, saying Dak trade talks to the Browns are not true. I mean, there was no way. There was no way. And I don't even understand the talk with this. There was no way the Cowboys were trading one Dak Prescott. And I'm pretty sure everyone has seen the Dak Prescott contract, but I'm just telling you, contrary to even what some people say, Dak Prescott's contract is not designed. I'm just telling us. Dak Prescott's contract is not designed to get from under in 2 or 3 years. That's not the way Dak Prescott's contract is designed. Dak Prescott's contract is actually designed that Dak is going to be here. And I wouldn't be surprised. I'm just telling you, if Dak Prescott comes out and plays extremely well in 25, 26, and 27, Dak Prescott by that time will be 36 years old by the time the 2028 season begins. I'm not going to be surprised if the Dallas Cowboys, looking at Dak Prescott's contract right here, I'm not going to be surprised. Some may be. I will not be surprised the way this contract is designed. People think, oh, yeah, the Cowboys, they can get out in 2024. I don't think this is how this contract is designed. I don't. The Cowboys actually designed this contract for that. In my estimation of just looking at the numbers, the Dallas Cowboys designed this contract for Dak Prescott to retire a Dallas Cowboy. They don't want Dak to play anywhere else. And Dak doesn't want to play anywhere else. And that's why when I first heard the thing about the Cleveland Browns, I just laughed about it because anyone who knows about Dak Prescott's contract, Dak has a no. Let's see here. I don't know if you can make this any plainer. Dak Prescott has a full, not partial, not negotiable. Dak Prescott has a full no trade clause. And some people say stuff like, well, it can be traded. He just gets to veto it. You can say that any way you want to. No. It's called a no trade clause. If it's not a no trade clause, then it's not a no trade clause. It says full no trade clause. The Cowboys cannot trade Dak Prescott. They cannot do it. Someone says they can. No, they can't. You can't do something if I have the power to say no, then you can't do it. We can fix that up with fancy jargon all we want to. Full no trade clause means I'm not going anywhere if I don't want to. And I don't care what kind of trade you set up. The only option for the Cowboys, is to cut Dak Prescott. That would be it. It's the only thing. It's the only way they can get out of the contract. Contract notes: $129 million guaranteed at signing. Signing bonus plus 2024 salary plus 2025 salary. $40 million salary guarantees March 16, 2025. Dak got that. $45 million 2027 salary fully guarantees, fifth day of the league season. Injury guaranteed at signing. So again, watch this. You know, y'all remember when I told you that we should be praying for Dak Prescott to stay healthy during this entire contract? I'm not a contractologist, but I just can read plain English. So Dak Prescott, if Dak Prescott gets injured in 2025, Dak Prescott's salary in 2026 is fully guaranteed. And if Dak's contract is fully guaranteed in 2026, that also means that Dak Prescott will be back in 2027 and so on and so on and so on. If you look at this contract, contrary to what people say, no, this contract is not designed for Dak Prescott not to be here. It's not. It's not designed for Dak Prescott not to be here. Todd France designed this contract for Dak Prescott to be here. To be here. We need to be praying for the health of Dak Prescott. One, the health of Dak Prescott is going to guarantee us probably 12 wins because whenever Dak was healthy during the Mike McCarthy stint, they got 12 wins. Dak Prescott healthy is double-digit wins. Number two, reason why we should be praying for Dak Prescott to be healthy. I believe the Cowboys are going to get a Super Bowl up under Dak Prescott. Book it. I've been talking about it. I don't care who disagree with me. The Cowboys will get a Super Bowl up under Dak Prescott. Third reason. Well, we don't want to be paying all this money for a quarterback that's not playing. No, we want the quarterback to be playing. We absolutely do. And this contract, because this contract, y'all, I'm telling you, this contract is designed. It is absolutely not only designed for Dak Prescott to be here, this contract is designed for the Cowboys to possibly extend Dak Prescott. Remember, I told you first, it's designed to extend. It's designed to extend. I will not be surprised if the Cowboys extend Dak Prescott and lessen even more of these cap hits. Now, the Cowboys have the void years to put money in as far as they can put the money into the void years, but I think they're going to do something even more than that. I'm not going to be surprised if the Cowboys extend Dak Prescott so that they can extend some more of this money while him still playing. Plus, Dak will finally give the Cowboys what everybody's been wanting. Dak will give the Cowboys the team-friendly deal on his last deal because I do not believe the Cowboys want Dak Prescott to play anywhere else, and I don't think Dak Prescott wants to play anywhere else. I believe Dak Prescott wants to retire a Dallas Cowboy. I do. And that's why when I first heard about the trade stuff, I was like, this is dumb. I don't need a long discussion on this. All I need is this. All I need is what you see me highlighting. That's the only discussion I need. And anyone who's trying, you can use the fancy jargon all you want to. The Cowboys cannot. Understand what I'm saying. Understand what the contract says. They cannot trade Dak Prescott. They cannot. The only thing the Cowboys can do, the only thing they can do is cut Dak Prescott. Okay, go ahead. I've heard people say the Cowboys can get from up under Dak Prescott in 2 years. Okay, go right ahead. Go right ahead and cut Dak Prescott in 2 years. Go ahead. Go ahead and cut him in 2 years. Look how this contract is designed. Go ahead and cut Dak Prescott in 2 years. Watch what it gets you. A pre-June 1st release, 2026. And let's go to what I think more of what people, I'm assuming they're talking about is right here. I'm assuming this is at the beginning of the league year. So if you do a pre-June 1st cut, you're going to get hit for $60 million, dead cap $60 million, you'll save $10 million. So that's what we're doing now. So we're going to eat that amount of money. We do a post release. Dead cap 2027, dead cap 2028. You're still eating $60 million. You're just spreading it out. Now you're just prorating it through 2 years. Now you're just prorating it. But you do save $45 million. You do a post trade, it's the same thing. Dak's still going to hit you for $60 million, but you save $45 million, which in reality, you're not really saving $60 million per se, because you're still getting hit with that money, but you lessen the hit. But again, I'm telling us, this contract, and that would be at the end of the 2027 season. So the real potential out is at the end of the 2027 season. So the reality of this whole thing is this contract isn't designed. This contract isn't designed to do the stuff that people were talking about with the Cleveland Browns. It's not designed for the Cowboys to trade Dak Prescott. It's not designed for the Cowboys to cut Dak Prescott. It is not designed for anything other than Dak Prescott retiring with the Dallas Cowboys. And I believe that is exactly what's going to happen. Dak Prescott is going to retire a Dallas Cowboy. And again, I'm telling you, if Dak is still playing extremely well at the age of 35, book it. I will not be surprised. The Cowboys come right down in here and they extend Dak Prescott out about 2 more years, and Dak Prescott gives them a very, very team-friendly deal. Book it. Book it. And this is why I keep telling us the Cowboys don't need to be looking at putting in a replacement. Now, if you're looking at a backup quarterback, I'm not in the crowd of people saying, yeah, the Cowboys should go get a backup quarterback. For what? And I'm not saying you don't need a backup quarterback. I'm saying for what? Now, if you want a backup quarterback and you're saying that Dak could only miss 2 to 5 games, if that's your thought process, okay, maybe you do want to get a rookie quarterback and kind of start developing them. But if you're saying that you think Dak Prescott may miss extended time, then the Dallas Cowboys did themselves a disservice. They should have went and got the services of one Jameis Winston. The Cowboys should go and get a veteran backup quarterback. And if you're talking about the quote-unquote replacement of Dak Prescott, he will literally be sitting on the bench for 3 years unless Dak Prescott gets hurt. And then you'll only see him 1 year as a full-time starter. And then you'll have to make a decision on whether or not you're going to pay him a huge 5th-year option. And then if he plays, what if he does what Jordan Love did in 2020? Let's say Dak is done in 2028. He comes in as the starter in 2028. He has a halfway decent season. I mean, Jordan Love, people don't realize Jordan Love didn't tear up the season. Jordan Love turned it on towards mid-season and went on a crazy run. And then, of course, he beats the Cowboys in 2023 in the playoffs, which catapulted him to the huge contract to be the highest paid quarterback in the league overnight. Or he was close to the highest paid quarterback in the league. I can't remember. I think he was close to it, or either he was overnight. You put yourself in that type of situation of which you don't want to be in. So, again, Dak Prescott, his contract is designed for Dak Prescott to be here. That's how this contract works. And if this contract works the way they want it to, and again, we got 3 void years, and then we got 2 years of Dak Prescott after 25, so they'll just kick a little bit more money. They'll kick a little bit more money down into the void years. And they're going to spread that money out. And so the contract is not designed It's not designed for Dak Prescott not to be here. And that's why the whole thing, when I first heard the whole thing about the Cleveland thing, I just laughed. I thought it was a joke because I'm like, this can't be real. Because Dak has a no-trade clause. Why would Dak, who's already building a new house over here in Prosper, Texas, just knocked his crib down, getting a brand new house built, about to get married, laying the entire foundation of his life over here in Dallas, he's going to leave a no state tax and go up to Cleveland in the cold and be the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. So what are they going to do with Deshaun Watson? I got a strange feeling, of course, Cleveland is going to miss Deshaun Watson again. And the only year they're going to get out of Deshaun Watson will be next year, will be the last year of that contract. And by that time, Cleveland may just say, you know what, we're done with it. We'll just cut our losses. But at the same time, I'm just telling you about a lot of these owners. A lot of these owners, guys, they do not like to just give away money. Cleveland may still try to see what Deshaun Watson is and still may try to get that last year out of him while going in the draft next year and getting their quarterback. And I think they may be trying to I think they'll probably try to target a guy like Arch Manning because people are already crowning Arch Manning. They're already crowning Arch Manning before Arch Manning has even played it down by the name because he has the name Manning. It's not just that. He looks pretty good too. But I think we need to see more before we start saying that type of stuff. Louise said, if you get hurt again, you better start thinking about it and getting Lance or a good backup or ready to roll out this new talent we just accrued through the draft and free agency. See, now that's the issue, Louise. See, this is the decision the Cowboys need to be thinking about. If you're fully confident in Dak Prescott being healthy, okay, go get you a backup quarterback in the draft somewhere in the 5th or the 6th, as a developmental quarterback. But if you think Dak could miss extended time, they should have went and got a veteran. And if the Cowboys, and even with Joe Milton, the Cowboys are going to be in a predicament because if you were to go get Joe Milton, you're still going to be forced to where, Joe Milton has been in the league, a year now? You'll be forced with Joe Milton, you'll be forced with him that you may have to pick up a 5th-year option of $20-something million before you even see what he is, depending upon what that 5th-year option looks like. But again, the Cowboys, if they were really wanting a backup, I think they should have went and got a veteran. But them not getting a veteran tells me that they are fully anticipating that Dak Prescott is going to be fully healthy. It's the only thing that makes sense. They're anticipating that Dak Prescott is going to be fully healthy. So it is going to be very interesting to see what the Cowboys do. As far as Dak Prescott's backup. I think it's a bad move, in my opinion. I think it's a bad move to go in the draft and get a quarterback simply because while the backup quarterback position is a need, you have a veteran quarterback. And if you're saying that you're going to be contending, then you should have went and got you a veteran backup to back up your veteran quarterback. Because we're saying that if Dak Prescott gets hurt, we want Will Grier or a third string quarterback to come in and be the starter, which let's not sneeze at Will Grier. I think Will Grier is better than Cooper Rush. I know that's not going to be popular in some circles. I believe Will Grier is better than Cooper Rush. I do. And a lot of people believe that Will Grier beat Cooper Rush out the year they cut Will Grier. I think Will Grier is better than Cooper Rush. I think he has a better arm. I think he's way more mobile. I think he's better than Cooper Rush. I think Cooper Rush was one of these issues where the Joneses really like Cooper Rush. They like Cooper Rush because I'm just keeping it real. Trey Lance, as bad as people are talking about Trey Lance right now, and it's absolutely pitiful, they're saying that Trey Lance should be going to the CFL. That's neither here nor there for me. I tell you this. I saw Trey Lance in the last game against the Washington Commanders. I'm willing to bet, and I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would be willing to bet anyone Trey Lance does better against the Philadelphia Eagles than Cooper Rush both times. Both times. Both times. I believe Trey Lance would have been better than Cooper Rush. Both times. Just based on the athleticism alone. Trey Lance would have done better against the Eagles. Trey Lance maybe could have even got one more win for the Cowboys. I'm just saying. Because, I mean, people are really, really just hitting and beating on Trey Lance really bad. And I really feel bad for Trey Lance because Trey Lance's athleticism has been the blessing and the curse. Trey Lance's own athleticism has been the blessing and the curse. Trey Lance has been so good athletically his entire life. It got him to college. He barely played college ball. It got him to the pros. He barely played pro ball. And he wound up with the Cowboys. And all those, every time if you think about Trey Lance's career, it has been because of his sheer athleticism. Because people look at him and they say, the upside, the size, the arm strength, the speed, the break tackle ability, the big play ability. He flashes, and he's flashed. He flashed in high school, he flashed in college, he's flashed some in the pros, but because he hasn't got the long history, and especially in the pros, he didn't get the long history of games. The moment San Francisco decided they were going to let him start, he got the Dak Prescott injury. Trey Lance got the Dak Prescott injury. And so I told y'all a couple of days ago, I said this league will eat you alive. This is why I'm excited for Kyer Elam for that we got from the Buffalo Bills. Because this league, they will blame you for their ineptness. They'll blame you. It's not Trey Lance's fault that he got drafted by the 49ers and they gave up a king's ransom for him. It's not Trey Lance's fault. It's not his fault. But where I do fault this NFL system is that this NFL system doesn't do what it used to do. People don't realize when Aaron Rodgers, you watch what I tell you, when Aaron Rodgers' career is over, and when people finally let the dust settle on Aaron Rodgers has been a little off the rails in the last few years, with some of his takes, opinions, and whether you agree with him or not, and just the teams that he's played with the last couple of years. But when people go back and look at Aaron Rodgers' career, they're all going to admit the same thing. Aaron Rodgers is probably one of the top 7 best quarterbacks we've ever seen in the NFL. When you look at, I'm telling you, go look at Aaron Rodgers' tape. The way Aaron Rodgers throws the ball, there are not many that can do it better. And there are not many who have done it better than Aaron Rodgers, not throwing the ball. I'm telling you, Aaron Rodgers, the ball placement, the spin, the trickery he can do with the football. And this dude is a very underrated runner. Aaron Rodgers used to kill teams with his legs. But the reason why I'm mentioning Aaron Rodgers was a first-round draft pick. And he came in during a time where people rarely let rookie quarterbacks start. If you were a rookie quarterback in the past, you sat behind the starting quarterback a minimum of 3 years. 2 if he got injured. But the goal back in the day for the when they would sign a quarterback, They would literally develop him. Aaron Rodgers comes into the pros, and they totally changed his throwing style. They changed his footwork. They worked and worked and worked on him behind one Brett Favre. They worked on Aaron Rodgers so that by the time Aaron Rodgers hit the ground, he was running. And he was running. They developed him. Has anybody not realized it's a shame to me how people talk about Trey Lance? Tell me who developed Trey Lance. It's not his fault Kyle Shanahan gave up a king's ransom. That doesn't say because he gave up a king's ransom that the moment that he came into the 49ers organization, Trey Lance was supposed to be a superstar. No, because if you actually watch the tape on Trey Lance, you would realize, man, this dude has barely played football. We got a lot of work to do. We really got a lot of work to do. I mean, we may need to get this guy because we've given up so much for him. We want him to be the face of the franchise. We may need to get this guy his own quarterback coach. We need to work extensively with him in the offseason, during the preseason, during the season. We may need to work with this dude for about 2 years so that by his third season, he's ready to go. Does anybody not understand what Green Bay did with Jordan Love? Jordan Love didn't come out here as no rookie. Second season, third season. No, they developed him. Now, Kyle Shanahan is very impatient. Kyle Shanahan knew he had the team, but he couldn't get the quarterback. He thought Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be the answer, but he wasn't. He thought Trey Lance was going to be the answer, but Trey Lance needed more developing. And when Trey Lance couldn't beat out Jimmy Garoppolo, then when they gave him his chance, he got injured, they were done with him. I'm telling you, man, this thing with Trey Lance, they're giving this dude a bad rap. But I think Trey Lance could have got the same amount of wins as Cooper Rush. I do. The same amount of wins this season as Cooper Rush. And probably could have got 1 or 2 more because of his athleticism. He wouldn't have been a sitting duck against the Cincinnati Bengals. He could have turned some of those things that Cooper Rush was doing, man, he could have turned them into 10, 15, 20-yard games with his legs alone. I mean, you think back to some of the games where Trey Lance would have been way better than Cooper Rush. And in particular for me, it's the Philadelphia Eagles games. He would have been way better. Way, way, way better. But now they've thrown Trey Lance away like yesterday's trash and saying all these things about him. And I'm saying all that to say the Cowboys, when you talk about the backup quarterback, they need to think about what kind of backup quarterback do they want. Are we looking at a developmental quarterback that could possibly take Dak Prescott's place? Because if you're looking for a quarterback to take Dak Prescott's place, you don't need to be back there in the 5th or the 6th. And in my opinion, you don't even need to be in the 2025 draft. The 2025 draft is so weak for quarterbacks. Quinn Ewers, please. I hope no one wants Quinn Ewers. We really need to be thinking about what do we want to do at quarterback. And again, if we are confident that Dak's going to be healthy, okay, you want to get one of those experimental quarterbacks in the 5th or the 6th? I guess if you want to waste the draft pick, I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because there are already quarterbacks in the league that you could probably go get and be better than them. You know, you think about it, and then we'll get to our first topic. But I wanted to address this Dak Prescott thing, and it's kind of got me into quarterbacks. Then I'm gonna go to some of you guys' comments. Because there are some quarterbacks that the Cowboys could get right now that would probably be better than anyone they could get in the draft. And so you got to ask yourself, what are you wanting? Because if you're wanting a Dak Prescott replacement, it doesn't make sense to be going back in the 5th, 6th, and 7th round. That just doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? No, you could easily just say, well, we want a backup quarterback, then let's just go get us one. Let's just go get us one, and we'll be ready to go. Because you think about this list right here. We know Aaron Rodgers is not going to anybody to be a backup. Trey Lance, I will not be surprised if the Cowboys kick the tires again on Trey Lance, because now you can get him at $1 million. It says his market value is $3 million. No way. They're going to get him at the league minimum. If I was looking at having a veteran, you got Joe Flacco. You got Carson Wentz out there. You got Case Keenum out there. He's a little older. Then you got some of these guys. I ain't never heard some of these guys, Easton Stick, Josh Johnson, but Teddy Bridgewater. Why not Teddy Bridgewater? He backed up Jared Goff last year. Why not Bridgewater? Tyler Huntley. If he's the one who I'm thinking about, why not Tyler Huntley? There are options out here at backup quarterback for the Cowboys. And if you're talking about Dak Prescott's Dak Prescott's replacement, which I don't believe you should be talking about this early. But if you're talking about Dak Prescott's replacement, well, don't go lower than the 3rd. But this, for me, is not the draft that I would be trying to replace Dak Prescott. And I'll tell you, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard people talk about it. But I remember watching this guy last year playing for the Patriots, and I said, this dude should be starting. I said, when I saw Joe Milton III last year, when I saw Joe Milton III, I don't know if any of you watched Joe Milton III last year in the preseason. This dude looked better than the starter to me. He looked better than the starter. Joe Milton III. And they're saying he's 100% getting traded before the NFL draft. The Patriots are probably going to get a real good draft pick for him. I couldn't see them getting less. I don't know. I couldn't see him getting less than a 4th? We don't have a 4th. I wouldn't even be surprised if a team gave up a 3rd for Joe Milton. I wouldn't even be surprised if a team gave up a 2nd. When I saw this dude last year in the preseason, I said, whoa, this dude is off the chart. I thought then he was off the chart. I did. And then when people started talking about him going to the Cowboys, I was kind of like, I don't know. But again, Milton was a 6th round pick. But if anybody saw him at Tennessee, which I saw some of them, I don't watch a lot of college football, but I did see some of them at Tennessee, and I thought he was pretty good at Tennessee. And here he is now, and he's showing that he's pretty good. And now it seems to be there are quite a few teams that are interested in him. And so they're probably going to turn this. And again, I'm telling y'all about college football. There are players who are better than being undrafted. There are players that are better than going in the 6th rounds. These 5th, 6th, and 7th, they're way better than that. But we hype up. We hype up the players with the tape. We hype those players up. We hype them up so much that those guys who could be really good, they fall between the cracks. And then sometimes people go get those players and boom, they explode. And so if you were really looking for a Dak Prescott replacement, if I'm the Cowboys, well, why not go and get Joe Milton III? I'm sorry. I think Joe Milton III is better than anything they're going to get in the draft this year. I do. I think Joe Milton III is better. Says right here the New England Patriots wants a 3rd round pick for Milton. And that feels like a fair price. This year's draft is light on top quarterback talent. I hadn't even read this, and this is my first time reading this. I'm just going by the eye test. This dude, Milton, man, I'm telling you, I saw him last year in preseason. I was just like, this dude right here, there is no way. But if I'm New England, they're crazy to me. Still's not going to be, hey, man, quarterback don't pan out this year? Open quarterback competition for me next year. It's an open quarterback competition for me because I'm telling you, man, this dude, Joe Milton, size, speed, arm. Seems to have great vision of the field, good ball placement. I would literally be thinking if I'm the Patriots, why are we trading this guy again? No. He's going to battle the quarterback this year if he don't pan out. But again, they're willing to trade him, it seems like, and they want a 3rd round pick. This year's draft, I would not take anybody over Milton in this year's draft other than maybe Cam Ward and Shador. But they're saying the same thing I'm saying. Milton is a better prospect than any quarterback projected to go in the 2nd or 3rd rounds. This is a no-brainer. If the Cowboys are looking for the Dak Prescott replacement, go to New England. Because if you're looking for the Dak Prescott replacement, somebody who could possibly play more than 2 or 3 games, Joe Milton III. It doesn't make sense to go in this draft there's the talent in this draft, you'll be forcing yourself. The Cowboys will be forcing themselves in this draft if they go get a quarterback. And if the top part of the draft isn't good, you think you're going to the back part of the draft and get somebody? Maybe you could. I don't trust the scouting. If I'm the Cowboys, how about you scout Joe Milton and say, hey, man, we'll get him to replace Dak Prescott in 4 years. Let's go with him. That's what I would do from the Cowboys. Let me read some of your comments, but this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing if I'm the Dallas Cowboys. I am. It's exactly what I'm doing. But again, I wanted to start out with the topic of the Cleveland Brown trade, Dak Prescott, Cowboys backup quarterback, all this stuff, because this is the stuff you have to be thinking about if you're the Cowboys talking about trading a doggone quarterback. Richard Owens, what's going on? Ice cold. He said trade less. Man, ice cold. You know what? I say this. If he wants to go to the CFL and think he can tear the CFL up, well, then go and tear the CFL up. But if you don't think you can do that, or they're going to bring you in as a backup, stay in the league. Stay in the league. Don't even deal with that. Stay in the league. 808 Cowboy, what's up? He said team trade back. We're going to see. And we're going to talk about that when we get to the path to the draft, as a matter of fact. We'll talk about it when we get to the draft. Path to the draft. Alex, you right? Hey, you and me on the same page. He never got the opportunity. He was drafted too early and never got a chance to develop. I hope he does good in the CFL and can make a comeback. Alex, and it's not his fault. They are the ones that put the expectation on Trey Lance. Trey Lance didn't tell people I'm the number 1 draft pick. Come give up 3 first rounds, give up 2 first rounders, 3 first rounders and a 2, whatever the 49ers did. He didn't tell them to do that. They did it. People like Colin Cowherd. People like Skip Bayless. These people were out there talking about Trey Lance, and these people in the media, they were pumping up Trey Lance, not acknowledging this dude barely played college football. Trey Lance's athleticism has got him everywhere. Everywhere. He's just that. When you look at him, you just say, wow, that's quarterback? And then you see him run up, you see him make a couple of runs, and you like, whoa. He got football speed. He can break some tackles. Oh, wow, he can throw that far? He doesn't have the touch because he hasn't been given the time. But they're looking at him as an athletic specimen. But if they would have been honest with themselves, Alex, there was no tape on Trey Lance to even justify. There was no tape on Trey Lance to justify him being drafted as high as he was. There was no tape to justify it. None. I can remember it like yesterday. Oh, but there's not a lot of tape on him. So you're using intuition? Or are you looking at the body type and the athleticism? And that's what they did. They did. Govin, what's up? Appreciate that super chat. I'm telling this, Tim, they did this man a disservice, and now this is the result. And this is what I say about this league. This league will eat you up and spit you out. Now, thankfully, the good thing for Trey Lance, if I'm not mistaken, Trey Lance has made around $34, $38 million during his career, so he should be good on money. I mean, the Cowboys literally paid him $5 million to be on the sideline holding a clipboard with a iPod Touch earphone in his head. So, Daniel Lim, he said, why not sign Mike Hilton on the cheap and play him in the nickel? You can't guarantee a cornerback in day one to take over at nickel. Yeah, there are some cornerbacks that they're saying that the Cowboys should still go out there and get right now. Daniel Lim, I tell you where I am. Unless I missed the news. But the cornerback that I want the Cowboys to go get is Asante Samuel Jr. Why not? Why not go get Asante Samuel Jr.? I don't understand it. I do not understand it. Unless somebody's already gotten him, maybe I'm missing it. But if I'm not mistaken, he's still out there. I do not have a clue of why they just won't go get him. Why not? Go get Asante Samuel Jr. You could probably get him on the cheap. You could probably get him extremely cheap. Go get him. The Cowboys have got to come into this season with the understanding that Trayvon Diggs may not touch the field again for him. They need to come in just like that. Richard Owens, exactly. That's what's wrong with the league right now. They want everything microwave. They didn't used to be like that. You used to give players time to develop. You don't get time to develop now. And with this new craze, and a lot of people don't realize this rookie quarterback craze, Dak Prescott was a part of it. Dak Prescott was a part of this rookie quarterback craze because Dak Prescott came in, wasn't supposed to start. Him and Ezekiel Elliott tore the league up, 13-3. And it's just been going on and on and on from there. And the quarterback position is starting to become more of a young man's game. And at the rate we're going, because of some of the more athletic quarterbacks that keep coming out, the quarterback position is going to become a turn and burn position also if we're not careful. It's going to be a turn and burn position more than it's ever been because everyone is always expecting the rookie quarterbacks to come in, to have the Dak Prescott season, to have the Jaden Daniels season, to have the Joe Burrow first season. I mean, even the kid from Texas, his name slips my mind right now, but everybody wants these quarterbacks to come in and have these insane rookie campaigns. These insane rookie campaigns. And you better get your money after that first campaign, because after that, if you don't win, they're done with you. You're going to be a second string quarterback after that. You're going to be a second string quarterback. I can see Brock Purdy on that same trajectory. Brock Purdy better get that contract now. He better get that contract right now because it's over after this one. He could totally fool me. I do not see him being one of those types of quarterbacks that's playing for 15 or 16 years and winning championships in this league. No. This game is turning more and more into rookie quarterbacks. Again, we saw Lamar Jackson. We saw Patrick Mahomes' first year starting. I mean, people are getting just spoiled by that type of play. Now, D. Schiff says, Trey Lance ain't Rodgers. Rodgers is one of a few who sat back and got developed. Now, D. Schiff, but he could be Rodgers. We don't know. We don't really know what. The sad part is this, D. Schiff. All we know what Trey Lance is what Trey Lance is right now. That's all we know. That's all we know. We don't know what he would be if he was truly getting developed. And then we say, because when you develop these guys, you got to turn them loose. You have to get to the point when you develop a quarterback. There has to be a season where you say, we're going to turn him loose. There has to be a season where you say it. Because if you don't turn him loose, you're never going to truly know what he is. You get better the more you play, especially at the quarterback position. He's got to get more play with live bullets. Wasn't going to do it. He never got the opportunity. But again, this league will chew you up and spit you out, and it is what it is. Sean Brown, I don't like Rodgers. There's a lot of people that don't like Rodgers. There's a lot of people that don't like Rodgers. They don't. They don't like him. What's going on, Mr. Brightside? What's going on with you, DC4L, Mr. Brightside? Yes, sir. What's good? Tony Simmons, what's going on? Why not Dak? Let me tell you something. Dak Prescott's going to have a great opportunity, man. Dak Prescott may get comeback player of the year. He's going to have a great opportunity. He's going to have a great opportunity. Not only is he going to have a great opportunity to be comeback player of the year, Dak Prescott's going to have an opportunity to be the MVP of the season, like you're saying, depending upon what they do for him. Big Mace, he said, I like where you're going with this, G. Yes, sir. Just trying to speak the facts on this thing, man. And the Cowboys, again, Big Mace, they got to really decide what are they looking at as far as the backup quarterback position, because I'm not, it's not computing with me that you're going to the draft to get a quarterback. You got to be thinking differently because you have a veteran quarterback. And he's coming off an injury. So if you're saying that you don't think he's going to be, if you're not confident he's not going to get injured again, well, you really need to be thinking about this position. And that's why for me, I mean, honestly, I would go Joe Milton. If you're going to draft a quarterback in this draft, why not just give up a draft pick for Joe Milton? I would. And if I'm drafting a quarterback in this draft, which is a very weak quarterback draft, well, I'm not going lower than the third. So if I'm going to go a third-round draft pick at quarterback, then doggone it, I'll just take Joe Milton. And I think Joe Milton will be great here. He'll be able to sit behind Dak Prescott for about three years. Be able to sit behind Dak Prescott about 3-4 years. Man, he'll be ready to go. He'll be ready to go. He will. So I'm really interested to see what do they do at the backup quarterback position, because again, I just don't think you should be wasting draft capital in a draft where you really need players. The backup quarterback position is something, to me, you should be looking at more as veteran, unless you want a developmental quarterback. I don't think this is the year for the Cowboys to get the developmental quarterback. So that's kind of where I am. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. My man Jared, what's going on? He said, gee, not necessarily. He said, but I think some already know part of what our plan is anyway. Just as long as we got the guys we want, that's all that matters. We're playing our plan, and we're going to see. We're going to look at that here in a moment. Ratio says Asante Samuel can play nickel. I think he can. Yeah, this is why I want him. I don't understand it either, Top Gun. I think the Cowboys should have already, and especially at the point you're at now, I would have gotten Asante because somebody's going to pick him up eventually. Ratio says because Jerry Stevens is doubled in the box of rocks, he ain't going to be cheap. Well, I say the longer he stays out there, probably the better the price for him is. Tony Simmons says Steven is the Lucifer of the NFL, just pure evil. Sabotaging the Cowboys since Dak's first year. Boy, I'll never understand those Dak Prescott contracts. Same thing I'll never understand about the Michael Parsons contract. I don't understand why have they waited and keep on waiting. I don't understand it. Do not understand it. They're just going to cost themselves money. The dude, yep, it started. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Russell Wilson. It started with Seattle and Russell Wilson when they got their Super Bowl with him, still on that rookie deal. Forgot about that. Yes, sir, the dude, what's going on? I forgot it. And see, people have gotten spoiled by this whole rookie quarterback thing. They've gotten spoiled by this stuff, and it just doesn't work for everybody. And they'll turn and burn you. Louise said, if you trade back, get 2 extra, take Barron first and Harrison, Parrish or Porter, late third and fifth, your secondary set once Diggs comes back. Now, I'll tell you where I am. We're going to talk about that in the draft when we get to the draft part of the show. Yeah, that's kind of where I am on that. The dude, he says the league and the NFLPA need to work out a deal to have quarterbacks on their own separate pay scale. I think they're working on this and can only make up a certain percent of the salary cap. Quarterback salaries are getting crazy. Man, I'm telling y'all, I will not be surprised if Dak Prescott is the first. It seems to me that they may try to do something before somebody surpasses Dak Prescott's contract. But again, you got to look at you got to look at Josh Allen's contract. Josh Allen over here talking about, he wanted to leave 5 minutes. Man, shut up. You ain't left nothing on the table. That dude went in there and got all of his money on the back end. Dak Prescott has the most money per year, but Josh Allen has the most guaranteed. And the guaranteed money is where it's at. Gene March, appreciate you. He said, G, you are highlighting the Cowboys fans' day, bro. Hey, I appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, let's switch to the next subject matter here.
Yes! Here we go!
I'm not going to talk a lot about Ashton Jeanty. I'm just not going to talk a lot about Ashton Jeanty, Cowboys fans. And the reason why I'm not going to talk about Ashton Jeanty, not because Ashton Jeanty isn't good, because people are going crazy over the Ashton Jeanty Pro Day. Can I help us with something? Can we stop being impressed with Pro Days? If you don't know Ashton Jeanty by now, you'll never know Ashton Jeanty. If you don't know Travion Henderson right by now, you're never going to know Travion Henderson. Any of these quarterbacks right now, with all these pro days, all these players with these pro days, if you're going by the pro day, I understand, but I don't understand. Look at the tape. Look at the tape of the previous season. The tape of the previous 2 seasons. If you don't know who they are by the tape right now, you're going to be fooled by the pro days. Does anybody not know what they do? Do we not understand? Ashton Jeanty. Now, there's no doubt about Ashton Jeanty. Ashton Jeanty is a physical specimen. There's no doubt about it. Ashton Jeanty's doing his pro day with no shirt on, and who didn't know the guy was muscular? I mean, who didn't know it? Okay, yeah, he's running the drills. All these drills, good. But do we not understand that he didn't get up that morning and say, hey, come run the drills? No, he's been running those same drills for weeks. Ashton Jeanty has been running those same drills for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, the same way that Ted McMillan and all these other guys, they've been running these same drills day after day after day after day. Why? Are they training for football? No. They're training for the pro day because everyone's going to be watching on the pro day. I didn't need the pro day to know what Ashton Jeanty is. Did we not know what he was during the season? So now we see him with his shirt off and he's doing all these drills and running through them. And now everybody goes, Ashton Jeanty is going to be a problem. What? It took the pro day drills to say that? Who didn't know, who doesn't know, Ashton Jeanty is going to be a problem? I didn't need to see Ashton Jeanty with his shirt off. Oh, I'm sorry. Some of the ladies might like that type of stuff. I'm not hating on you. I didn't need to see Ashton Jeanty with his shirt off running drills with muscles saying, uh-oh, Ashton Jeanty is going to be a problem. I already know Ashton Jeanty is going to be a problem. Because Ashton Jeanty isn't the only running back in this draft that is going to be a problem. Omarion Hampton is going to be a problem. Caleb Johnson is probably going to be a problem. My favorite, Travion Henderson, he's going to be a problem. Quinshon Judkins is going to be a problem. Man, let me tell you something. There are some running backs. There are some running backs back here. And I know I love, don't get me wrong, Ashton Jeanty is the man. But there are some other running backs. Bashul Tootin, I promise y'all, he's going to be a problem. Damian Martinez, I promise you, is going to be a problem. And a lot of times, oh, yeah, man, he's going to be no, they're all going to be a problem if they mess around and get on the right teams. They're all going to be a problem. I'm telling you right now, any one of these top 12, and I've seen some things, and people can have their own opinion. I don't hate on nobody for their opinions. But people are saying that you can't go in the later rounds and get the kind of talent that Ashton Jeanty is based on a pro day? Wait a minute. We're saying this based on a pro day. A pro day where there are no defenders. There's no one blocking. It's not a live game. And we're basing on a pro day that we can't go in the draft and get someone that is going to be as explosive as Ashton Jeanty. I disagree. I absolutely disagree. I disagree because running backs, they all have certain styles. What you're looking for if you on your team, okay, which running back fits our scheme? But then if you take it a step further, okay, which one of these running backs can come into any scheme and flourish? I'm sorry, I disagree with people who say that Ashton Jeanty is the only one of these guys that you're going to be able to get in the draft that's going to be able to come out and do absolute damage in the NFL. No, I'm telling you, the moment this dude, Omarion Hampton, and he's not my second choice as running back. I'll get to that in a moment. But he's not my second choice. But I am positive Omarion Hampton is going to be a juggernaut. He is. He's going to be a juggernaut. There is no doubt about it. When you look at the fact this dude is 6 foot 224, 4'6". No, this dude is going to be nice. This dude is going to be nice. Travion Henderson is going to be nice. Caleb Johnson, is going to be nice. Even Dylan, I think it was Dylan Sampson. He's going to be nice. These guys all watch what I tell you when they come in this league. And even this dude Scattybo. As much as I do not want the Cowboys to get Scatterbo, and I don't think they're going to get him. Watch what happens if Sean Payton gets Cam Scatterbo. Watch what he looks like. Watch what he looks like. Sean Payton loves these type of players. These Swiss Army knife type players. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. No, you know what? Hey, again, Ashton Jeanty is going to be absolutely great in this league. At least I believe he is. I believe he's going to be absolutely great. But I'm not going to get all riled up about Ashton Jeanty. For what? Ashton Jeanty isn't coming to the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas has been very wise in their whole look at Ashton Jeanty. I want y'all to think about what the Cowboys have done that is so brilliant as it applies to Ashton Jeanty. Haven't really been saying a whole lot. Has anyone noticed that? They haven't been saying a whole lot. They didn't interview him, for what my understanding is, in the early on portions, but I think he is scheduled to come to Dallas or something like that. They are going to interview him eventually. But the Cowboys seem to be very calculated in what they're doing with Ashton Jeanty, because they already know what happens the moment the Cowboys get extremely interested in somebody. Some team flies in, swoops in, trades up right in front of the Cowboys, and gets the very player that they want. Let me read this super chat from my man Johnny Blue.
Yes! Here we go!
Johnny Blue, good afternoon, G. He said, I think Jerry likes to show his money. His top guys have top money. It's like he's bragging. That's what I see. I think DC4L. Johnny Blue, I've already said it. I said the same thing. Jerry wanted Dak Prescott to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. Jerry wanted Dak Prescott to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. CeeDee Lamb, he wanted him to be one of the highest paid wide receivers in the league. He tried to go a little bit lower on CeeDee Lamb. Micah Parsons, I knew the moment Micah Parsons started talking all of that, he'll play for less. Jerry didn't want him to play for less. Jerry didn't want him to play for less. No, Jerry wants his players, his star players, he wants them to be the highest paid. Why? Because when you make them the highest paid, see, Michael gonna eat them words. Michael gonna eat those words when he tried to throw shade at Dak Prescott. Well, you know what they say about the highest paid player. He's going to eat those words because Jerry Jones is doing exactly what Micah Parsons said, that what they say about the highest paid player. Dak Prescott has already got 2 Oso Digizua, CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs. They signed Kevontae Turpin to a very good deal. They signed Marquise Bell. So you're telling me the quarterback can't get paid and you still have players? They're going to extend him. They're going to prove to him that it's been their fault all along. It's been their fault all along. And the Cowboys, I said it, I agree with you, Johnny Blue. They want to have these highest paid players. They want to have them. They didn't have to pay Dak. I don't believe they had to pay Dak Prescott $60 million. They could have signed Dak Prescott early. They really could have signed Dak Prescott earlier and saved probably about $8 to $10 million. Could have signed CeeDee Lamb earlier, saved $5 to $6 million, maybe even $8 million. Micah Parsons, they could have easily. They're going to come out paying for Micah Parsons probably $10 million more than they would have had to pay him had they signed him when he first started talking about he didn't have to be the highest paid player, which would have put him right behind or even with one Nick Bosa. Now they're already in the 40 millions, and he's talking about now, well, I'll be a happy player if I get 40 million. Well, that's strange to me. You said there's no difference between 30 and 40 million. But again, I wasn't buying that because when you start talking to agents start talking to you a little bit smarter. Hey man, it's no difference in 30 and 40 million if you're the only one getting the money. But when you become a brand, You're not the only one working for your brand anymore. Once you become a brand, you need people to take care of stuff that you just don't have time to take care of. You're a 24/7 brand once you get to this Michael Parsons status. You're a 24/7 brand. You cannot watch your brand all the time. And there will be people around you because they need to be paid to watch and take care of your brand. So that $10 million that you're saying there's no difference between 30 and 40 million, it is, because that $10 million is the money that you can be paying your brand agent. These guys go out and get stuff like stylists. You get financial people. You go out and get people who take care of your whole persona. Publicists. There are so many people that when you become a brand and you start to get companies, no, that $10 million, some of that needs to be probably working in towards, because you're going to be investing some of your own money in your businesses. That can be the money you're investing in your own businesses. That's that money. You got to invest in yourself too. You're your own biggest investment too. There is a difference when you start talking about those types of things. And so it's no surprise to me. And this is why I was saying what I was saying from the very beginning. The agent is going to say something totally different. The agent is going to say something totally different. And again, Michael also said it depended upon how aggressive that Jerry and these guys were being in free agency. Well, did they meet his requirements? Because some would say, I've been looking at the Cowboys. I saw where people are giving the Cowboys free agency. They're giving the Cowboys free agency grade an F. I don't understand how you could give it an F unless you're comparing it to someone else. But if you're comparing it to just what the Cowboys needed and what they did, for me, I would give it a B minus. No. People are giving it an absolute F. There are people giving the Dallas Cowboys an absolute F in free agency. Says over here, Athlon Sports. Cowboys bludgeoned for selectively aggressive free agency with F grade. Can't wait to see all these same teams. All these same beat writers. These same beat writers will be changing their tunes the moment the Cowboys start winning in 2025. I don't buy any of this stuff these guys do. But again, when you start talking about the Cowboys and all these things, again, as it applies to one Ashton Jeanty, I'm not going to get hyped up about Ashton Jeanty because the Cowboys can't get him. And I don't believe the Cowboys should trade up to get Ashton Jeanty. I've seen some people say that stuff, but no, the Cowboys, they have a lot of needs. A lot of needs. The Cowboys have got to stay they've got to stay the course in what they're doing. They got to stay the course. Yes, sir. I agree with you, Georgia George. Let's get those likes up. What's going on with you? Good to see you. Louise said this is why premium picks this year are O-line and cornerback. The Cowboys, though, I'm just telling us, the first two rounds are vital for the Cowboys. Rounds 1 and 2 are vital for the Cowboys. The Cowboys have no choice. And I think this is where they're going to stay. The Cowboys have no choice. They have to go wide receiver and running back in the first two rounds. They have to. They have to. The Cowboys have no other option. They have to go wide receiver and running back. They have to. D-Block 88. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. We're about to switch gears. We're going to look at this thing with Sanders, and then we're going to switch gears. What's up, my man, D-Block 88? And just kind of piggybacking on what you're saying, D-Block, we got to go wide receiver. We have to go wide receiver and running back in round 1 and 2. We have to. We have to. Because we got to run Bland at cornerback. They're thinking that Izzy is going to be able to play nickel cornerback. We still need to see what some of the injured players coming back from last year are going to be at cornerback. And I think the Cowboys are banking huge on Kaiir Elam. And they should be. They should be banking on Kaiir Elam. They are banking that Kaiir Elam forces them to give him an extension. I don't think the Kaiir Elam thing is actually a big chance. He's exactly what they need to be taking a chance on. Because, again, you're talking about Kaiir Elam. I would rather have Kaiir Elam right now than anything they're going to get in the 5th on back. I would rather have Kaiir Elam. I would. The Cowboys did exactly what they should have did with Kaiir Elam. Man, you take a chance on a dude like that because the Buffalo Bills, he had an injury, and he didn't quite come back the way they wanted him to from the injury. And by that time, the guys who were behind him, they were getting better, and so they said, hey, we'll just cut our losses with this. Okay, we'll take him. The Cowboys are banking big on Kaiir Elam. The Cowboys have got to stay the course. They cannot botch this. They have to go wide receiver, running back. And we're going to talk about that in a moment. Now, I want to look at this thing real quick. And I talked about it the other day, and people started talking about it a little bit more. And I'm not going to talk about it ad nauseum today, just a few minutes. But the New York Giants. The New York Giants did something strange. And the New York Giants getting Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson, that's strange to me. I could be totally wrong. But to go get Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, that's telling me that you are considering not drafting a quarterback at 3. If Shedeur Sanders does not get drafted at 3, where does he get drafted? Where does Shedeur Sanders get drafted? I got a strange feeling. I have a strange feeling. A lot of people are saying Shedeur goes, if he doesn't get drafted at 3, he goes to the Cowboys at 12. I don't believe it. There is a team sitting right here. They would shock me if they would allow Shedeur Sanders to get past them. And it's the Las Vegas Raiders. I would be surprised. I believe Tom Brady would make a phone call and say, we got to get Shedeur Sanders. I do. I think they would get Shedeur Sanders. I do. I could not see the Raiders not getting Shedeur Sanders. But again, this thing with the Giants is strange to me. They may be telling people that, hey, guys, we're willing to trade this pick. If somebody will come get this number 3 pick, we're willing to trade it. Because maybe they're saying we don't think these quarterbacks in this draft are really that good. You think about this. Look at Geno's contract. Geno's contract is very interesting. This is the perfect contract to go get Shedeur Sanders. It's the perfect contract. Geno Smith has 1 season left on that contract. And if I'm the Raiders, I'm going to decide after this draft of whether or not I'm going to extend this, which I will not be surprised if they don't extend it. This is probably literally what it is unless there's something else that has transpired. But from what my understanding is, I heard someone talking about this the other day, and they were saying, why haven't the Raiders extended Geno Smith? If I'm the Raiders, because I don't think Shador gets to the Cowboys. If I'm the Raiders, I already know where I'm going. If I'm the Raiders, and this could be the chance, and I still say it's slim, but Ashton Jeanty getting past the Raiders could be the chance. Could be the chance for Ashton Jeanty getting to the Cowboys. Even though I would find it hard to believe, the Jets may stay pat on Armand. A lot of people talking about how good he is. The Carolina Panthers may stay pat on Tet, but they may change their mind. The Saints may change their mind. The Bears may change their minds. Oh, man, him making it past this right here would be insane to me. But again, if you look at these players they have selected, these are top 10 players they also have selected. So again, if they were to give up these players, it'd be a ripple effect. Somewhere in here, if someone changes anything, this is where you probably get the opportunity for the Cowboys to get either Jeanty or Tet. Now, the question becomes for the Cowboys, and I hope they don't get this anxious, because the Cowboys could get anxious if Jeanty doesn't go at 6 and could possibly try to trade up. But again, everyone needs to keep their eyes. And I'm going to tell you something else that came across the wire. Something else that came across the wire that I find to be very interesting. Abdul Carter. If I'm not mistaken, Abdul Carter didn't get to work out. He didn't get to work out or something like that. But I'm telling us, this thing going on with Abdul Carter, you just never know. The Cleveland Browns could shock everybody, and they could go get Shador Sanders. And then does Abdul Carter make it past the Giants? I'm telling y'all, man, the Giants have poised them. They have put themselves in position, guys. The Giants have put themselves in position to not take a quarterback. Not to take Abdul Carter. The Giants have put themselves in position to where they don't have to pick a quarterback. They have put themselves in position to where they could literally trade that pick and get draft capital. And if I'm them, why not? Why not? And if I'm the Giants, I'm just telling you what I would do. If I'm the Giants, I already got 2 quarterbacks. I would start Jameis Winston over Russell Wilson. I would. How about I get a running game to go with Jameis Winston? What if I get a running game? I'll get a run game rather than getting a quarterback because to me, I don't see how this says confidence in Shador Sanders by getting Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. That's strange to me. Y'all tell me what you think. That's strange to me. That's strange to me. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes with this team, but it is strange to me that you say it looks like you need a quarterback. And rather than you got the 3rd pick. Shador Sanders is a lock unless Cleveland shocks everybody and they get Shador. Cleveland could easily get Shedeur Sanders, and Shedeur Sanders would enable them to say, hey, man, we're going to cut our losses with Deshaun Watson. We're going to go ahead and eat that contract. We've already converted some of it to a signing bonus. They did that again with this year, and then he's got one more year left. Man, the Cleveland Browns may just say, hey, man, can we convert some more of this to some kind of signing bonus, give you this money, get you up out of here, and let you be done in the NFL? And we're going to start over. We just signed Myles Garrett, man. We want to go ahead and bring in Shedeur Sanders, and we're willing to just let Abdul Carter do something different. Think about this from the Giants situation. The Giants made a huge mistake in letting go of Saquon Barkley. Well, now you have your opportunity to get another Saquon Barkley, Ashton Jeanty. You've already got 2 quarterbacks. I'm telling you, the Giants may be telegraphing to us, we're not taking Shedeur. They may either trade that third or, if I were them, shock the world. Get Ashton Jeanty. And then, if I'm the Giants, I would do something else even more insane if I'm the Giants. Why not? I'm the Giants. Not only would I get Ashton Jeanty in the as the 3rd overall pick. If I'm the Giants, guess what else I do? I've been hearing the Dallas Cowboys might want to get Joe Milton III from the New England Patriots. Well, we saw him last year too. And if the New England Patriots only want a 3rd-round draft pick for Joe Milton III, why don't we get Ashton Jeanty as the 3rd overall pick, and then we'll get Joe Milton. We'll go and just say, hey, we're trading away the 3rd-round draft pick to the New England Patriots. Joe Milton, come on in. I let him sit 1 year behind Jameis Winston. I let him sit 1 year behind Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. And then he's a starting quarterback. They got those up to salaries. They don't have those guaranteed, for what my understanding is. They got those up to $8 million, up to $12 million or $10 million salaries. Okay, don't let them get them up to salaries. Bring in Joe Milton III, trade your 3rd, bring in Joe Milton III. Draft Ashton Jeanty in the 3rd. Because I'm telling you, draft Ashton Jeanty is the 3rd overall pick. If Ashton Jeanty, guys, is everything we're oohing and ahhing over, the New York Giants, you got 2 quarterbacks. I'm not letting Ashton Jeanty get past me. And again, I do not see how he gets past the Raiders. I don't see him getting past the Raiders. If he gets past the Raiders, I could not see how any of these teams, the Saints, the Bears, I'm just telling you, I don't think for a second that if Ashton Jeanty is available at 10, Will Campbell, he may be going somewhere else. Because I guarantee you, Ben will be beating the table on this one. Like, no. This guy is a generational talent. Because aren't we saying the same stuff? He's a generational talent. We're out here saying he's going to be a problem. If I'm the Bears and Ashton Jeanty is available, nah. There is no way. There is no way if I'm the Bears, Ashton Jeanty comes up, I'm getting him. I'm getting Ashton Jeanty. I do not see how he gets to the boys unless they trade for him. It's the only way I see him getting to the boys. It's just not happening. And again, Shedeur Sanders. If the Giants don't get Shedeur Sanders, there is no team looking for a quarterback. And maybe, and I shouldn't say maybe, the Jets. But then that means that Armand is going to be available. Maybe the Saints, if they wanted to move off Carr. But again, if Shedeur Sanders doesn't get drafted by the Giants, I don't see the Cowboys taking him. I do not see the Cowboys taking him. I think they would basically lock Jerry Jones in the bathroom, but they're not. I don't think they take Shedeur Sanders. I don't think the Cowboys take Shedeur. I don't. So if Shedeur doesn't go to the Cowboys, I would be very interested to see which one of these teams. Because the further he would go down, Because all these teams, you think about it. Oh, I didn't think about this team. Pittsburgh Steelers. He wouldn't make it past the Pittsburgh Steelers. That would probably be the team right there. Pittsburgh would be the team to get Shedeur Sanders if he made it past the Cowboys, which I think he does make it past the Cowboys if the Giants and the Raiders, if the Giants and the Raiders don't pick him up. And the only way the Raiders pick him up is if the Giants don't pick him up. I'm telling y'all, man, this draft is going to be so exciting because I think there's going to be some shakeups in this top 11. The Cowboys are going to have some decisions to make, I believe, in the top 11 because, again, we don't know if Abdul Carter is going to go to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns can shock everybody and get Shedeur Sanders. But again, I'm just telling y'all. Y'all tell me what you think in the chat on this thing with the New York Giants. If I'm the New York Giants, I got two quarterbacks. I have two quarterbacks, man. I'm not worried about. If I have those two quarterbacks, I'm kind of like, you know what? No one's been saying that Shedeur Sanders is a generational talent. Nobody's been saying that about Shedeur Sanders. And I'm telling you, this doggone owner for the New York Giants, I think he regrets. And no, I know he regrets letting go of one Saquon Barkley. He absolutely regrets it. And if you look at the fact that Jalen Hurts and what type of quarterback Jalen Hurts is, Jalen Hurts was able to win the Super Bowl without throwing for 200, 250, 300 yards. He was able to do that. The defense was a huge part of it. But the 27 for 57 by Saquon Barkley, don't discount it. They did exactly what a lot of teams are too dumb to do. If a team decides they're going to stop your run, don't stop running. Keep running and make them keep dedicating those resources to the run game. Make them keep doing it. Make them keep going single high safety. Make them keep going man to man. You tell them, no, it's going to be all day, bro. We're not going to stop running because you stop us from running in the first quarter. No, this is going to be a 4-quarter day. You are going to have to hold Saquon Barkley below 100 yards. Because if you don't, he's going to hit his head on the goalpost. He will hit his head on the goalpost if you don't continue to commit those resources. And so, again, if I'm the New York Giants, nobody is saying, at least to my understanding, I've heard nobody say Shedeur Sanders is a generational talent. And the reason why I know they haven't said it, because no one has said Cam Ward is a generational talent. I'm not hearing people say that about Cam Ward. But Cam Ward is the number one quarterback. Shedeur is the second quarterback. So if I'm the Giants, I'm getting Genty. And this is the reason why, one, I don't think Genty's going to make it to the Cowboys. And then two, the Shedeur Sanders to the Cowboys talk, don't think it's going to happen. Shedeur is not in the plans for the Cowboys. He may fly right on past the Cowboys, but they're not thinking about him. Ratio, let me tell you something. If this was any other quarterback, Ratio, if this was Cam Ward, I would be saying Cam Ward will sit behind those two guys. You really think Deion Sanders wants his son to come to the pros and sit behind somebody? Deion doesn't want his son to come to the pros sitting behind anybody. He doesn't. He may not have a choice, but he doesn't. Deion wants his son to come and start playing. I guarantee you the teams that are looking at Shedeur Sanders, they want him to start playing. They do. Chuckle said he just flushed. He said he just dropped and Jerry didn't flush. Hey, I'm telling you, Top Gunner says Shador can learn from other quarterbacks, 2 other quarterbacks, and things don't get right by midseason. He might get a shot at starting. Top Gunner, I don't think that's what they want to do, though. I don't think that's what they want to do. I don't think they want to bring Shador in and let him sit down for a year, even half a year. They want to bring Shador Sanders in immediately and start. But I'll tell you this. If I'm the Giants, I just think, and this is no knock on my man Shiloh. I love Shiloh. I mean, I love Shador Sanders. This is no knock on my man Shador Sanders. You tell me, would you rather have a generational quarterback or would you rather have a generational running back or would you rather have the number 2 quarterback in the draft? I'm going generational running back. I'm going generational running back. I am. Big May said the experts love to argue in the chat. Hey, y'all tell me what you think. Would you rather have the number 2 overall quarterback in the draft, or would you rather have the generational running back in the draft? I'm going generational running back 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10, especially if I already have on my team currently Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson. I'm taking the generational running back. I'm taking the generational running back all day long. I am. I'm taking them all day long. Lewis said that Cleveland will go after Ewers. They're going to be, hey, I can tell you up front, Louise. I can tell you up front. If Cleveland don't get Abdul Carter, they will not be able to come back around and get him. Cleveland will not. And I repeat, they cannot have their cake and eat it too. Abdul Carter is not a player that you get to say, I'm going to draft someone before him and I'm going to circle the block and come back and get him. Where? Abdul Carter not falling to the second round. I promise you. Abdul Carter don't make it past the Dallas Cowboys. Abdul Carter will not make it past the Dallas Cowboys because the Dallas Cowboys are not getting Ashton Jeanty. I promise you, if Abdul Carter don't go to the Cleveland Browns, nah, they can forget it. They will not be able to circle back on that man. If Abdul Carter don't go to the Cleveland Browns, Abdul Carter will be picked up no later than the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys will get him, I guarantee you. I guarantee you the Cowboys will get him. They will absolutely get him. Abdul Carter is probably going to the Cleveland Browns. And if he doesn't, again, the draft is going to be shaken up. But I'm just telling you, as it pertains, and we don't even know if the Cleveland Browns don't say, do we not realize what we're saying about Ashton Jeanty? What other players in this draft are people using the terminology generational? What other player? Now, I could be missing this. I have not heard anyone else saying generational. After his pro day today, everyone, generational. If Ashton Jeanty is generational, I'm taking a generational running back. See, Tennessee is the only one that's the exception in this. See, they already got Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard isn't Ashton Jeanty. But Tony Pollard is a good running back. So if I'm Tennessee and I'm thinking about running back, the only thing I'm thinking about is, okay, we already got Tony Pollard. So we can go back in the second round and get a running back because the second round going to be deep in running backs. Third round going to be deep in running backs. If I'm Tennessee, now we'll go ahead and get Cam Ward. And Cam Ward absolutely showed out in his pro day. I would go get me a running back in the second round if I'm Tennessee. That's what I'm doing. And if I'm Tennessee, I may get the opportunity to get Cam Ward and Amarion Hampton. And now I'll have a 1-2 punch. I'll have Amarion Hampton and I'll have Tony Pollard if I'm Tennessee. So they probably going to get Cam Ward. No, they're getting Cam Ward, no doubt about it. But as it pertains to the Cleveland Browns, they could do anything. Cleveland could literally do anything. Cleveland could get Abdul Carter. Cleveland could shock everybody and get one Ashton Jeanty. They could shock everybody and get Shedeur Sanders. The Cleveland Browns have so many different options, but the team that is poised to shake up the whole thing is the New York Giants. The New York Giants. They are poised to shake this whole thing up. Because I'm telling y'all, if they don't get Shedeur Sanders, and people keep talking about him falling to the Cowboys, I'm not worried about Shedeur Sanders falling to the Cowboys. Because even if he did, the Cowboys are not going to pick him up. And I don't know who that would make mad, but I do not, as much as I love Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders, I do not want those kind of problems in Dallas. The first fumble, the first interception Dak threw, they'd be hollering for Shedeur Sanders. Don't want those kinds of problems. Don't want those kinds of problems. But again, if I'm the Giants, I'm getting Shedeur Sanders. If I'm the Giants, you want to make your fan base go crazy? Get Ashton Jeanty. The New York fan base would go crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then I'm telling you, I would go back and give New England my 3rd round draft pick, and then I would get Joe Milton the 3rd, and I'm rolling. If I'm the New York Giants, I'm rolling. I'm rolling with that. And I got a 2-year plan. Joe Milton is the type of quarterback. He will not mind being mentored by Jameis and Russell. I'm not saying Shedeur will mind being mentored by Russell and Jameis. But when you draft a quarterback 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 overall, you're not drafting him to sit on the bench. You're not. You're not drafting him to sit on the bench. You're not. You're just not doing it. I'm telling y'all, if I'm the Giants, I'm getting Ashton Jeanty. Y'all tell me what you think in the chat. Jay Snipe said, y'all called me genius. He said, y'all weren't saying Jeanty falling to 12. Hey, Jay Snipe, it ain't happening, bro. Jay Snipe, it ain't happening. Jeanty's not falling to 12. Jeanty not falling to 12. And I'm telling y'all, don't be shocked if the Giants get Jeanty. I wouldn't be shocked. The Giants are poised to shake the whole draft up. They are. They are. If I'm the Giants, I'm getting Jeanty. Y'all tell me, because maybe I'm missing something. Tell me the player in this draft that people are calling generational. Who is that player? I want the generational player. That's who I want. I want the generational player. I don't want the top player at his position in the draft this year. I want the running back that everyone is saying is a generational player, because you're basically saying that Ashton Jeanty is the best running back to come along in the last, 5 years? Ashton Jeanty, if he's generational the way everyone's saying, he shouldn't even make it past the Giants. He shouldn't even make it past the Giants. He shouldn't. Skull Unknown. I'm telling the Skull Unknown. If Jeanty is what we say he is. Now, y'all want to see the method to the Cowboys' madness? I could be totally wrong on this. But do y'all notice what the Cowboys are doing? Y'all notice the Cowboys aren't doing all this talking about Ashton Jeanty? You know why? I think it's this simple for the Cowboys. I think this thing with Ashton Jeanty, y'all, is this simple. If he's there, we're taking him. That's where the Cowboys are. This is why the Cowboys are not doing a lot of talking. The Cowboys are saying, if Ashton Jeanty is there, we're taking him. That's my thought process the Cowboys are doing. It's simple. If Genty is there, we're taking him. There's no discussion. But I also think the Cowboys know he's not going to be there. Genty is not going to be there. He's not. Genty's not going to be there. Big Cloud. Same thing. I'm in total agreement. The first draft pick for the Cowboys at number 12 will be a wide receiver because Ashton Genty is not going to be there. The first pick is a wide receiver because Ashton Genty is not going to be there. And I'm telling y'all, man, if I was an advisor, I would tell the New York Football Giants, do not draft Shedeur Sanders. Why not? Is there something wrong with Shedeur? There's nothing wrong with him. But is he generational? Or is he the number 2 overall quarterback in a very weak quarterback draft? I'm going generational. Ashton Genty, if he is what we say he is, Ashton Genty has to be the BPA on everybody's board. Ashton Genty has to be the BPA on everybody's draft board. I don't care what anyone tell me. If Ashton Genty is that, if he's that, what everyone is now saying, I'm telling you right now, he's the BPA on everyone's board. And everyone must be saying, other than Tennessee. Tennessee is the only one that gets this pass because they feel like they really need a quarterback, and everyone is saying that Cam Ward is the best quarterback. Saw some of his pro day. He looked really good. So if that's the case and you think you really need a quarterback, go get Cam Ward. But other than Cam Ward, if I'm looking at absolute BPA, and not only BPA, but the BPA that immediately comes on my team and makes a difference, prove me wrong. There is no position in football that translates better than the running back. Pee Wee, Little League, middle school, high school, college, and the pros. It's hard to stop. It is hard to stop a bona fide running back. It's hard to stop, man. When you get a guy that can run the ball, he can run the ball. You don't have to, you don't even have to complicate it. Hey, man, do what you do. Hey, punt 24. Hey, we're going to run pink 24 dive. Hey, you know what? Quick pitch to the right. Gotcha. Boom. Offensive line not that good, so you don't need a great offensive line for a good, wait. Let me rephrase that. You don't need a great offensive line for a generational running back. You don't need a great offensive line. You don't need an elite offensive line. You just need a good one. You just need an offensive line that says, hey, Genty, we can get you to the second level. I'll do the rest. That's all you need. You don't need the elite 90s Dallas Cowboy offensive line that was going all the way to the second level on people. Ashton Genty. And he's not the only one like this. And we're going to talk about that as we go to the path to the draft for the Cowboys. He's not the only one on this list, contrary to what people may be thinking. He's not the only one that if you can just get him beyond the first level, he'll take care of the rest. He'll hit that hole, make one guy miss, and boom, us off to the races. It's off to the races. And so, again, Ashton Genty, excuse me. I'm very interested to see what do the Cowboys, not the Cowboys. This draft, I believe, is going to be shaking up in the top, in the the 11 picks before the Cowboys, this thing's going to be shaken up because I think somebody's going to throw a monkey wrench in this thing because I'm sorry. I'm taking the generational running back over the number 2 overall quarterback in the draft. I am. Because I got options. Joe Milton III, I would take him over all of these quarterbacks in this draft. And if not all of them, I'm at least taking them over. I might take Joe Milton over Shador. When I look at the overall measurables, Shador, I believe, is going to be good to great in this league. Joe Milton has the potential to be great in this league too. Has the potential to be great. I'm telling us. The dude, he said it's the GM and head coach with the New York Giants. If they don't win, they're fired. Yes, sir. Roll with Winston, Wilson, draft Genty, get enough wins to save their jobs. It's pretty simple if you ask me. The dude, think about it. Who makes an impact? Now, let me see if I can find the statement. Let me see if I can find the statement of why I think this could be a possibility. Let me see here. Because it was saying there was people already talking about that the Giants owner was saying he wants to win now. He says he's growing impatient. He wants to win right now. Right now. And so the one way you can improve your team immediately is the running back position. Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Cooks for the Bills, they all proved that this year. That a running game will change the way you do everything. It will. Because it opens up the play action. And I told y'all this before, and I'll say it again. Zach Martin actually said it. Young offensive lines. Ask them what would they rather do, run block or pass block. They'd rather run block all day long. You get your offensive line better by run blocking because they get to be the aggressor. They get to take it to the defensive line. They know where they're going. They get to push the defensive line in the directions they want to go, at least some defensive lines, unless they're the Philadelphia Eagles. But a young offensive line, they get better run blocking. They would love to run block first. That lets them get their feet up under them, and then you go working, you get the pass blocking to develop. So the best thing to do for a team that doesn't have a great offensive line is implement a great run game. You don't have to have a great offensive line to have a great run game. You need to have a good offensive line with a good scheme and a good to great running back. Anybody remember Mike Shanahan? Mike Shanahan, Dan Reeves, Denver Broncos. They were famous for that zone blocking scheme they had. And Mike Shanahan got to the point. Mike Shanahan basically had a plug-and-play running game. He could plug anybody in there and they come in and get 1,000 yards. That's how good Mike Shanahan's run game was. But then, of course, you put Terrell Davis in the system like that. Man, you put a running back like Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis was the best running back in the NFL for what, 2 years? Never seen nothing like it. Boy, they put him in that scheme. It was a different ball game. It was a different ball game. Let me see something here. Make sure I got my facts right on this. But again, and the reason why I mentioned that zone blocking scheme is that some of these other coaches picked up on that same scheme. They picked up on that same scheme. Dan Reeves, Kubiak, these guys, they picked up on that same scheme. But again, the one who's really famous for this is Mike Shanahan, if I'm not mistaken. But you don't need a great offensive line. I mean, don't get me wrong, it absolutely helps, the one the Cowboys had in the 90s. But if you let Michael Irvin tell it, Michael Irvin says that the offensive line became great when Emmitt Smith got behind it. So he's saying that a great running back made a good offensive line great. Now, Mike knows this stuff better than I do, but I saw that offensive line, man. That offensive line. I'm not saying that anybody could have ran behind it, but there's a lot of running backs that could have ran behind that line, but I digress. There is no position that makes an impact in football like a running back that can absolute run the ball. And that boy Ashton Jeanty, from all intents and purposes, man, that dude can run the ball. Ashton Jeanty can run the ball. And Ashton Jeanty should be the BPA. I'm telling you, if I'm a team in this draft and Ashton Jeanty flashes on that screen and the New York Giants didn't pick him up and the Raiders didn't pick him up, I'm getting Ashton Jeanty. I'm getting Ashton Jeanty. If I'm the Panthers, the Saints, or the Bears, man, if I'm the 49ers, I would get Ashton Jeanty and consider trading Christian McCaffrey with all the injuries he's been having as of late. No, I'm telling you, Ashton Jeanty, you just don't let this dude go. But we're not getting him. I don't think there's no way we're getting him. I don't think we're getting him. And I don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to the Cowboys, even if he's available at 12. The Cowboys are not going to get Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders is not in the plans of the Cowboys. He's not in the plans. And again, I wouldn't be surprised because the Raiders, when you think about, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not going to be shocked if he goes to the Giants. But the Raiders with Geno Smith on a 1-year deal. And the reality is they got the coach on a 2-year deal. It's a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year option. No, he's going to be out of there. I still contend Shedeur Sanders. If Shedeur goes to the Raiders, that is going to be the pathway Deion Sanders is going to take into the pros. And it is perfectly primed for Shedeur that if New York don't get him, the Raiders may. The Raiders may. And who's to say? Maybe the Raiders and the New York Giants swap picks. Maybe they swap picks. The Giants go to 6 and the Raiders go to 2. Go to 3. The Raiders go ahead and get Jeanty, and the Giants still get their the Raiders go to 3 and get Shedeur. If they really want a Shedeur, and the Giants can still get Jeanty. But again, I just don't think there is a scenario other than the Cowboys trading up. I don't think there's a scenario where this dude gets to come to where Jeanty falls to the Cowboys or Sanders falls to the Cowboys. Don't think it happens either way. I don't think it happens either way. Ron, Ward has a better arm than Sanders. Book it. Hey, you know what? I was actually kind of surprised that Sanders was not the number 1 quarterback in this thing, but he's not the number 1 quarterback. And again, I'm just telling you, if it's me, I would take the generational running back. I'm taking the generational running back over the number 2 overall quarterback. Drew 912, you're making a very interesting point. When you look at his competition, Ashton Jeanty, who did he go against in college? You have no idea what he's going to do in the pro game. Is he going to match Eric Dickerson rookie record? He needs to play in the NFL first. Whoa. Hey, Drew 912. Man, let me tell you something. Man, I saw Eric Dickerson, man. Shoo! Eric Dickerson wrecked the league when he came in here, man. Eric Dickerson wrecked the league. It would all depend on who Jeanty would go to, Drew. Because, to come in and do what that dude Eric Dickerson did, man, Dickerson was a monster. He was. Ron said running back all day. I'm the same way. If I got to pick between a running back and the 2nd overall quarterback, and everyone is telling me this running back is a generational running back. Would Gentry be the number one running back in last year's draft, the year before, and the year before? Because if that's true, then you can't pass him up. You can't pass him up. Jay Snipes said running back because Sanders is even second best. Man, I'm telling you. Robert Dudley said, who thinks Shedeur Sanders will be the next Vince Young or Jamarcus Russell? Hey, you know what though, Dudley? I will say that Vince Young, I thought Vince Young got a raw deal. The coach never wanted him. I think he got a raw deal. I think he could have been better than what he was. S.E. Bean. He said Gentry not generational. Woo! Boy, there are a lot of people that would argue with you on that S.E. Bean, but I'm not gonna argue with you. But I'm just saying what people are saying about Gentry. If Gentry is generational, then he got to be BPA. Gentry has to be on these top 11 picks and even the Cowboys, the top 12 picks, the top 12 teams in the draft. Gentry must be somewhere on the outside saying if he's there. I don't know if people do that on the draft boards, but that's what I would have. If I'm in the top 10, top 12, top 15, I'm going to have a part of my board that says if he's there. I'm going to anticipate who probably is going to be there based on some of these draft boards, based on some of the things I'm hearing, pretty much know what we're going to do. And I'm going to have all the ifs, but I'm going to have a certain section to say, if this player is here, no matter what, take him. Is there a player like that in the draft? And if the way people are talking about Gentry, well, he won't get the Cowboys. Big Cloud. Dallas will go wide receiver, running back, quarterback. I would assume that's going to be the order too, depending upon how do they feel about where Dak Prescott is. What's going on? We like our guys. What's up with you? Ron, Carter is a stud. Yeah, Cleveland's probably going to get Carter. Big Mate said he thinks the Giants' O-line is okay. Abdul Carter, top 10 pick. No doubt about it. He will not fall out of the top 10. Nope, he will not fall out of the top 10. Jay Snipe, Dak losing his mind when Dallas drafts a young stud quarterback, 8 years of no competition. You know what? Again, Jay Snipe, if I'm the Cowboys, I just wouldn't do it. The draft is too weak. I would not draft a quarterback in this draft. It's too weak. I would roll with Will Grier, go and get me one of these available veteran quarterbacks. Because with Dak Prescott, Jay Snipe, we got to understand what we're saying. We're not looking to replace Dak Prescott. We got too much money tied up in him. We got way, way too much money tied up in him. We want Dak Prescott to be successful. We don't want to lose out on this deal the way the Denver Broncos did. We don't want to lose out on this deal. No, we want to hit the lottery on this deal. That's our goal. And so there's no quarterback. I don't think there's going to be a quarterback that's going to come in and even compete. But again, oh man, you talking about Ewers? Oh man, Louise, I'm sorry, Quentin Ewers, I can't do it. Stu was loaded with talent at Texas. I can't do it. I can't do it. S.E. Bean, he said the Raiders are getting Abdul. Jay Snipe, Dallas should draft Howard or Dart. Okay. What's going on? Hallelujah. Okay, S.E. Bean said nobody calling Gentry generational. I've been hearing generational, S.E. Bean. Ron said generational. I've been hearing generational on him, man. I have. Man, I saw that man, the Cowboys wouldn't. I cannot see the Cowboys trading up to get. Let me tell you about Travis Hunter. I don't know if you guys have ever watched some tape on Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is a freak athlete. Period in the story. Period in the story. But the issue you're going to have with one Travis Hunter, you have to think about this. He is 188 pounds. He's 188 pounds. That is a very undersized wide receiver in this league. So if you're bringing in Travis Hunter, you're not going to bring him in to say you're going to primarily play wide receiver. He's probably going to be more of what Deion was. Travis Hunter would probably be a better cornerback for you in the pros, and you use him as a wide receiver. But again, the pro game is different. See, in college, you playing against dudes, they don't even plan on playing football after college. You're not playing against the elite competition in college. Man, you get in the pros, everybody good. Even the bad teams are good. You cannot do the amount of plays that Travis Hunter did at Colorado. You cannot do that in the pros. You cannot. Even if you're a freak athlete, you cannot. Your body will not be able to take the constant beating that you are taking in the pros. You'll be having a block in the run game. You'll be getting you will not only have to block in the run game, you'll be getting blocked in the run game. I mean, the pro game is brutal on a body. There is no way Travis Hunter can do this. He can't. Johnny Blue, appreciate that super chat. Would Cleveland trade with us for a second and a fifth? I'm not sure. There were some people that were talking about that Cleveland may would have wanted to trade with us when we were talking about Myles Garrett, but other than that, I wouldn't know. But we like our guys. Travis Hunter to the Cowboys, no way, no how. He's not even in the plans. 70s fan said he don't know if Genty is generational or not. He played at Boise State, struggled against Penn State, and, hey, 70s fan, that's the game that people are using against him. That is the game that people keep using against him. They do. Ron said he is generational. S.E. Bean says he's not generational. Jay Snipe says Zeke was higher pick than Genty. Was a higher pick than Genty will probably be. Man, I don't think Genty makes it past the sixth. I don't. Johnny Blue, Cleveland needs a quarterback. They do. They do need a quarterback. They could shock everybody and get Shador. S.E. Bean, Saquon should have been labeled generational. Size, speed, shifted before injuries. Yeah, and that's why I said that I would not be surprised if the Giants went back and got Saquon Barkley because went back and got Ashton Genty. They regretted the thing with Saquon Barkley. They regretted it. And this would be their opportunity in their eyes maybe to make up for it. Jay Snipe says Henderson moves like Adrian Peterson. And all right, let's move to the last topic. We will do the CeeDee Lamb thing tomorrow. We're going to do the last 20, 25 minutes on the path to the draft.
Yes! Here we go!
So there are people who are saying, based on who the Cowboys have been visiting, the Cowboys are giving us the clues to the draft. Now, let me just put this caveat in there. The Cowboys have made their minds up, I believe, and they're saying exactly what I'm saying, that there are certain players that if they are there, the Cowboys are taking those players. No questions asked. They're taking those players. And I'm sure a lot of teams, especially up there in that top 10, top 12, top 15, they're all probably thinking some of those types of things. But again, over on Athlon Sports, it says head coaches, and let me get you the headline here. Landon Holyfield over here. This is CowboysCountry.com. It's Athlon Sports, but Mike Fisher calls it CowboysCountry.com. Understanding the Dallas Cowboys NFL Draft Board is aided by watching the coach's college travel schedule, which makes perfect sense. And I think some of this, though, can be thrown off because, again, there are certain players to me that fall in the category of we pretty much know what they are. And some of these players, I believe you don't want to tip your hand on these players because sometimes people get a whiff that you're going for somebody and maybe they go up and get them. Or maybe they got the same player on their board and they say we got to go up and get them because we don't want you to get that player. But here it is right here. And this is the part right here that has me absolutely excited. It says defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus also attended South Carolina's Pro Day. So keep an eye on guys like Nick Emanwari and Demetrius Knight. Perhaps the most telling so far is Ohio State. Yes. Yes, this is exactly where I want the Dallas Cowboys. I want the Dallas Cowboys at Ohio State. Why do I want them at Ohio State? It is simple. Where Eberflus and head coach Brian Schottenheimer were in attendance, prospects in play include my number one wide receiver for the Cowboys, Emeka Egbuka. This is who I want the Dallas Cowboys to get as the number one wide receiver. I love Ted McMillan. But when I look at not just the size, when I look at the size, the speed, the hands, the separation, when I look at the versatility, do not get me wrong, Ted McMillan is a pure wide receiver. Emeka Egbuka, hey, he just seems to be a little bit more versatile to me. Some people may not like what I'm saying. I like what I'm saying. I am not going to be mad if the Cowboys go get Emeka Egbuka, number one wide receiver. Hold on, let me hit. With the number 1 pick, with the number 12 pick in the first round, Emeka Egbuka. I've been saying this from the early beginning. I like Ted McMillan. Savion Williams, I think that's his name. Savion, you could probably go back and get Savion because I think he's going to be in the third. Emeka is going to be gone in the first. If I'm the Cowboys, I don't go get Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden, I think after looking at him, he's a little bit undersized. If I look at the wide receiver that is the perfect size probably for what the Cowboys are going to do, it's Emeka. He automatically comes in and he's better than everything we have other than CeeDee Lamb. He comes in, steps in immediately, and he is the number 2 wide receiver. My man D-Block, he said that the Giants better get Shedeur Sanders. Y'all a little bit behind me. Let me move up a little bit more. We like our guys. He said Genty rushed over 2,600 yards last season, 8 of the games over 200 yards. We like our guys. Ashton Genty to me is a no-brainer. No doubt about it. He's a no-brainer. Ashton Genty, there's nothing to think about. There's nothing to think about. And I think I'm not going to be surprised if the Giants get him. I'm just not going to be surprised. Top Gunner says, G, you got to remember Wilson and Winston are 1 and 2 year rentals. That's it for sure. They still need a quarterback. Giants coach GM jobs on the line. The New York Spotlight is perfect for Shedeur and his lifestyle. I would pick Genty over. And I would go get Joe Milton kid from New England. I would. That's who I would go get. D-Block, yeah. I would get Genty. Again, I would go get Genty and go get Joe Milton III. I would. Pure Gaming, I'm saying the same thing. I think they're going to try to make up for the thing with Saquon Barkley and go get Genty. They've already said they regretted getting rid of Genty. I do. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. I think Genty is going to be the makeup for Saquon Barkley. It's not going to surprise me. And I think this is one of the reasons why so many of these people are saying that Shedeur Sanders may slide to the Cowboys. The only way he slides to the Cowboys is if the Giants don't get him, because there will be no one else after that who will pick him up. At least probably until he gets to Pittsburgh. That would be it. But again, let me skip on up further where I am. But for me, I'm just telling y'all, I am ecstatic that the Cowboys coaching staff is over here at Ohio State. And I really think this is where they need to be. I really think this is where the Cowboys need to be. Because not only that, I do not think the Cowboys are going to get Ashton Jeanty, my number one running back in this draft, TreVeyon Henderson. TreVeyon Henderson. I would love for the Cowboys to go get one TreVeyon Henderson. Man, when you look at this running back list, TreVeyon Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, both of them, nice. Both of them. TreVeyon Henderson, 208, 5'10", 443. The tape on him is crazy. Quinshon Judkins is crazy too. He 219. He's a load, 6'4", 448. Both of them. Both of them. Look at this. Look at the description. I absolutely agree. It says what jumps off the screen is his masterful manipulation of space and zone schemes. That's exactly what jumps off the tape on TreVeyon Henderson. The footwork and vision he displayed against Penn State. Hey, I'm telling you, I am absolutely with him. But Judkins too, immediate impact player in a gap-heavy run scheme where his vision and power running style will shine. Both of these running backs, the Cowboys can't lose. Jeanty will not be the end for the Cowboys. No, you cannot lose with Hampton, Johnson, Henderson, or Judkins. Sampson either. But for me, the two running backs that I want the Cowboys to pick up, I want the Cowboys to go and pick up. I would love for the Cowboys to go and pick up TreVeyon Henderson. TreVeyon Henderson. And again, look at all these players in here. Josh Simmons, Donovan Jackson, JT Tuamalu, Jack Sawyer. Jack Sawyer looked really good. Defensive tackle Tyleek Williams. I'm telling us, these guys, and there's an article talking about how the Ohio State Pro Day, a lot of these guys moved up their draft stock because they look so good in the pro days, which like I said, I'm just not really big on pro days. It's something that is so rehearsed. Well, of course, these guys are going to look pretty good in their pro days. I mean, why wouldn't they? This is all they're doing. They're just working on this pro day stuff over and over and over. But again, the Cowboys, you know, if you're looking at kind of what they're doing, this is where people are saying they're kind of showing their hand on what they're doing. And this was Emeka, his 40-yard dash. I didn't need to see it. I've already seen the tape on this dude. He's just going to be an absolute beast. Yeah, he's going to be an absolute beast. And they're saying these aren't casual visits. They are targeted evaluations. The Cowboys are drawing their board in plain sight. You just have to follow the footprints. Yeah. And I'm telling us, I want the Cowboys to stand pat. I know a lot of people, they're saying all of these different things about what the Cowboys should be doing. But for me, I want the Dallas Cowboys to stand pat. I do not want the Cowboys to do anything weird in this draft. I want the Cowboys to go get a wide receiver in round 1, a running back in round 2. They can go one of 3 ways in the third. Defensive tackle, they can go O-line, or they can go cornerback. I will not be hurt. The only thing for me, the place the Cowboys have got to win this free agency is in round 1 and 2. If Ashton Jeanty some kind of way falls to the Cowboys at 12, there's no thinking you get him. Round 2, TreVeyon Henderson will be there. Get TreVeyon Henderson. Some people say if Ted McMillan is there in the first, you get Ted McMillan, and that will not surprise me if the Cowboys do that. I will not be hurt if they get Ted McMillan in the first round over TreVeyon Henderson. But in the second round, you still must come back, and you have to go running back. The Cowboys have to get the most explosive wide receiver in this draft, and they have to get the most explosive running back in this draft. Whatever is the most explosive in those two positions, they must get those players. They must get those players. And again, man, I am so interested to see where Ashton Jeanty goes. Because the way Ashton Jeanty looked in that pro day film, I got a funny feeling that a lot of teams are changing their whole. There may be some teams changing their draft board when it comes to him. I'm serious. I think there are some teams that are changing their draft board with Ashton Jeanty. And Ashton Jeanty, not only is he good, but to just keep it 100, Ashton Jeanty is the type of player that is going to get your fan base so excited. Man, your fan base will go bonkers if you get this dude. And the Cowboys, I'm telling you, if Ashton Jeanty comes to the Cowboys, I've been already talking about 2026 Super Bowl. There'll be people talking about 2025 Super Bowl if the Cowboys wind up getting Ashton Jeanty. I'm just telling us. Man. Ashton Jeanty, he is going to be the most interesting pick in the draft to me. Where does he go? Because I do not believe the way Tankathon has this thing written. I don't think it's going like that. I don't. Nope. Don't think it's going like that. Nope. Don't think it's going like that. But again, appreciate y'all rocking with me. Louise, he says, if Tennessee takes Jeanty with Pollard and that running back coach, woo, somebody in trouble. Yep. Boy, Louise, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? That would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy. Louise said because the AFC don't have any good old lines. And Louise, see, this is the thing that I don't think people understand it. Man, there are a lot of teams that could use Ashton Jeanty. There are a lot of teams that could use this dude. For real. For real, there's a lot of teams that could use this dude. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Robert Dudley. I'm just trying to state them facts, man. There's a lot of teams that could use this dude. But again, as it applies to the Cowboys, Ashton Jeanty is not the end for the Cowboys. Nope. All the Cowboys need to do, stay patient, go out there and get the best running back available, best wide receiver available. And if Ashton Jeanty isn't there, you go wide receiver first, running back second, because the running backs are deep. Now, we'll talk some more tomorrow. I think I'm going to go and try to look at some film and stuff and maybe bring some film tomorrow. I've been hearing some people talking about Luther Burden III being a diva, different things like that. But again, the Cowboys have got to get some of those. The Cowboys just got to get the top skill positions at number 1 and 2. They do. They have to. We have to. But again, guys, I appreciate you rocking with me. We're going to be back tomorrow around 4 o'clock. Hopefully we'll get some new developments. Maybe the Cowboys pick up Asante Samuel Jr. Maybe Michael Parsons will be signed tomorrow. Maybe we'll get some more news and just get some more things about where the Cowboys are going. Yes, sir, Robert Dudley, that's it. Stay within the framework. Keep it simple. They just need to keep it simple. Just keep it simple. You know what you need. You need a number 2 wide receiver, go get him. You need a running back, go get him. 1 and 2, go get him. Don't even think about it. Daniel M., he said he thinks that Bouquet is someone the Cowboys want. I hope he is. I hope he is. I'm telling you what my wish is. A Bouquet and Henderson. That's what I want. Oh, Big Cloud said going to have a live draft. Woo, man, we're going to have a flat out party. Watch, hey, we're going to have a flat out party. Hey, don't worry. This is going to be the place to be. Day 1, 2, and 3, man. We're gonna have a lot of stuff going. I got some stuff playing for everybody. So we're gonna have a whole lot of fun. Whole lot of fun on draft. I mean, it's gonna be great. We're gonna have 3 days of just fun. Leandrew Sims, what's up with you? About to get out of here. But we'll be back tomorrow around 4 o'clock. Woo, David Everett. That'd be crazy if the doggone Kansas City Chiefs would have got Genty. That would be crazy. At Bouquet and Hampton in the first 2 rounds, G, and then you go Alfred Collins in round 3. Hey, Daniel Lim, I tell you this. If they get at Bouquet, they can get him. I don't care if they get Hampton. I want Henderson. But if they get Hampton, Henderson, or Judkins, oh, I'm all good. I'm all good. Reginald Jackson, he said, G, stop it. The Cowboys not going to the Super Bowl. No, not this year. But I'm saying, Reginald, if the Cowboys got Genty, there would be people who would be screaming the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl this year because Genty is that type of player that would have the fan base so excited. No, the Cowboys got 2 years. The Cowboys got to get the team built. So we got about 2 years. 2 years and we ready to go. We're going to be 2026. We're going to be in this thing. 2026, 2027, those will be, one of those 2 years will be a Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl that I'm hoping it is, I want Dak Prescott and Josh Allen to crack that glass ceiling at the same time so we can see a rematch of the Dallas Cowboys versus the Buffalo Bills. That's what I want to see in 2026 or 2027. I just think those two, I think that Super Bowl would break the internet with Josh Allen, the most loved quarterback, and Dak Prescott, the most hated quarterback. It'd be the best Super Bowl ever. Yeah, Alfred Collins from Texas, he's 6'5" and he's a 1 tech. Well, they're probably not going to do something like that until the 3rd, and he will not be there. Yeah, that will not be there. Yeah, Reginald, it's going to take us a couple of years to get the team built. Yeah, it'll take a couple of years because the Cowboys had to fill too much depth. So this year they got some depth in free agency. They're going to fill out some more players in the draft. So it's going to take about 2 years. But again, appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. We're going to be back tomorrow around 4 o'clock. Boy, I'm telling y'all, this is going to be the place to be for the draft. We going to have a whole lot of things. Whole lot of things going on. It's going to be fun. But again, appreciate y'all rocking with me. I'll see y'all tomorrow around 4 o'clock. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys. We talk facts. Peace.